Well, good morning, guys. What's going on, you motherfuckers? It's another day, and today I am going to answer some questions. Now, yesterday I asked you guys to go ahead and ask me any questions you wanted about any topic, and if I felt like the topic was acceptable, I was going to answer it. And it's pretty awesome that I didn't have anybody be a douchebag on there. I was figuring there was going to be at least a couple douchebags, but there really wasn't. And obviously, I knew there wouldn't be a shitload of questions that I'd have to answer and sit here for like 2 hours and try to answer all these questions. I guess that's the part of growth. I can see why people really have a hard time doing these videos. Number one, time consuming. Number two, do people actually watch these? Do people care? It's really funny how you can put a video out and you put all this time and effort into it and you're super excited about it to show it to people and you don't get the response that you want. It's probably the most depressing thing ever. I'm glad I don't do this shit for a living and I don't put all that work and effort into it. Like, I know I have friends that have YouTube pages and they put all this work and effort into it, and when they don't receive what they think they should receive, they just start getting depressed. God damn, that's a really sad, depressing idea of thinking that social media can do that to you, but it just has that effect. It's the same thing with Instagram and Facebook. By the way, if you follow me on Facebook, I gotta ask you guys this question. Is anybody else having problems with their Facebook? Like, I don't have too many friends or whatever not on there. I have like a couple thousand, and I'm getting like 2 or 3 likes on my photos. I have no clue what's going on, but I guess it's the same with my Instagram. My Instagram's dead too. I just hate how Facebook runs everything. That Zuckerman or whatever his name is, he just controls so much that it sucks. And obviously, I'm not changing anything to business because that's what they always want, because they want to sucker you into doing all that goddamn advertising bullshit. But anyway, back to the topic. So yesterday I asked you guys to hit me with some questions and I would answer those. So obviously, being as ghetto as I am, I have to use my computer, and my computer, I'm just going to do this. My computer's right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mouse click, go to the questions, look at them, answer them, and do it this way. No format here, boys. You already know how it is. I'm using my phone. I don't give a shit what anyone says. I don't got to be fancy. I don't got to do it. All right, so the first question is from Just Dan. And Just Dan asks, I got some questions about the fusion in your back, if it's cool. Been holding off surgery for 12 years because I'm afraid I won't be able to ride and paint again. All right, Dan. I have a few things about back injuries or things that are happening with backs. I don't really talk about this too much, not like it's a big huge deal, but I was born with my L4 and L5 fused together. So usually in the back, obviously I'm not a doctor, your bones are like this, and then there's a little space and bone, space, bone, I believe, and then they're supposed to float. Well, my L4 and L5, instead of being like this, they're like this. So one side, which is my left side, is bigger than my right, but they're fused together. So instead of having that movement like everyone else has, mine's kind of like this or goes like this. So since my left side's bigger than my right side, and the way the nerves work in the back, it goes like this, my right side has a tendency of always giving out. And my sciatic nerves always hurt. I wake up, I have problems, but over the years, I've just learned to deal with it by doing back stretches and stuff. Dan, everybody's back is different. I can't tell you if surgery is a good idea or surgery is not. To be honest with you, you've already gone 12 years and haven't gotten surgery. So it's bearable. I've heard, and I've had multiple friends that have had surgery, that if you go and get back surgery, you go from being 100% down to 75% of your back. So you like lose 25% of it. So like Taj Mahalaj, if you don't ride BMX, Taj is an old pro BMXer. He had back surgery and he can't bunny hop like he used to. So some people, you can go and get surgery and come back not fully recovered, but come back a little bit better. And it all just depends on your injuries because everybody's different. I got a friend that tore his back up. It's been 5 years since he's rode his bike, and the doctors cannot figure out what's wrong with it. They know something's wrong with his back, but they can't figure it out. For myself, on my back, I was born with this irregularity, I think is the word. And it's just something that I've grown up with and became accustomed to. Now, I didn't have my first, like, hissy fit or back fuck up until, like, 2000 and I think I was 25 or 24. Around there. But anyway, what ended up happening with me was I was at a contest, and if you've ever ridden with me, I don't stop. I just keep going and going and going and going and going and going and going. And that time, I just exerted myself so bad that I rode past being tired. And I just kept riding. And eventually, I was really hurting, but I didn't understand. I went and sat at a bench, and this is something that's super ironic, is I go and I talk to Rich Hirsch. If you guys don't know who Rich Hirsch is the owner of Stranger Bikes. Used to have low tech. Anyway, he was having a low tech contest in Battlegrounds, Washington, and he just got done with back surgery. I went and sat at a bench. We talked about his back surgery. Everything was going totally fine. And then I stood up and my back went out. Now, when your back goes out, if anybody else has ever had their back go out, your back goes out. That means there's no fucking walking. There's no moving. You're stuck in the position that you're at. It is the worst position. And it's usually the fetal position where you're stuck with your legs popped up here and you ain't moving and the noises coming out of your mouth are fucked. And my back went out and I was pretty much hurting for, I think, almost 2 months. And it took like 8 months before it stretched itself back out. So, Dan, number one, if you've gone 12 years with this, I would just, I don't know, I'm stubborn. Every BMXer is. I would just keep yourself laxed. Maybe go to a sports therapist. That's what I did, and he taught me how to stretch my back out, and it did really well. If it's hurting way bad, maybe go to a specialist, check it out. But I'm telling you, it's tough, man. It's tough. Good luck with it, and I hope some of these words that I had to say to you help, which I don't know if they're really going to help because I'm just kind of telling stories and giving you what happened to me and how it is for me. For me, I just have to stretch. I have to be mindful, and I have to realize that, like, hey, Ricky, enough is enough. If your back's fucking hurting, stop. Don't keep going. All right, Dan, good luck with your back, brother, and thanks for asking me a question. All right. Next question comes from CX4130. Tacos or burritos? Well, back in the day, I liked both. I liked tacos and burritos. Now that I'm going to be 37 years old, tacos and burritos do not agree with me. I can't eat that shit, dude. I get the taco fiesta bubble guts so bad now, dude. Hot sauce doesn't work with me. I'm lactose intolerant now. My body just does not like that shit. So to be honest with you, I don't like spicy Spanish food anymore. It isn't worth it. It tastes so good. I know what it feels like, but having heartburn and just shitting yourself like you got 14,000 little Mexicans running through your anus sucks ass. I just can't do that shit. I'm over it. And then he asked another question. One bike part that is no longer around that you would bring back today. if I could bring back one BMX part, I would bring back, well, this BMX part is still here, but I would like it how it was back in the mid 90s. And I would want the Primo Stogies back. And it doesn't even have to be Primo, it could just be any brand. But what I mean is, I want pegs to be 5 inches and longer, like they used to be. Now, I know everyone's going to say, well, what about when you go and do a handrail, your fucking peg's so long, you're going to clip and hang up. Yes, I understand that. But let me tell you the benefits of having long pegs like those. Number one, I wear a size 12 shoe. So, I don't even know where I'm going with this, but it's going to give me more of my feet being able to sit on the peg for a hang 5, or for me to do rocket manuals. Also, back in the day, I used to ice pick things that were hard to ice pick, like the lips on a fire hydrant, like the little tiny part where the bolts were. I used to be able to ice pick those, and it's because the longer peg, you could like tilt your ice picks, so you could go like this and it would catch more of a corner, and you'd be able to get on things that you didn't think you can get on before. And I just like longer pegs. I just feel more secure with those. And I know people are going to say, well, 4.75 is long enough. Nope. I'll take the 0.25. I'm a little kid. I want longer pegs. What do you wish people knew about working in the bike industry? CX 4130, that's probably the best question you could ask me. And to be honest, I don't want you guys to know shit. Because once you get to know the magic of the inner workings of the industry, I don't know if I think it'll just take it away. It's sometimes the magic of it is the best part of it, and it's the guessing and wanting to know instead of getting to know everything and seeing how it works. It isn't worth it. Stay clueless, stay passionate, just stay loving it. All right, next question comes in by Bryden Red B. Guy might smoke weed. All right, 2 questions for you. What is your favorite genre of music? And if you listen to... All right, hold on. My favorite genre of music is... Oh, it all depends on moods. I really love 80s music. And now that I'm on the spot, I'm definitely not going to be able to name any of the bands. I'm not going to be able to name any songs. Take me home tonight. I don't want to... Shit like that. I just love bubbly, upbeat music. If I'm super sad and depressed, I'll listen to country. I fucking love country. I can understand country. Now, music that I fucking hate, hip-hop now. Totally understand why my parents used to say the same thing. Oh, well, music back in my day had meaning. Yeah, goddamn rights it did. It's because you lived through it and it gave you meaning. Nowadays, all that music, I can't stand it. And if you listen to rap and hip-hop, who was your favorite rapper, hip-hop artist of the 90s? God, that's a really tough one. Mine was more of groups. I really liked Bone Thugs and Harmony. Northwest had Brother Lynch. I liked E40. I'm probably going to have to go with Bone Thugs and Harmony. I really enjoyed them. I know that isn't an individual. That's individuals, plural, or whatever it is. That's like 5 people. But I just really liked them. And during that time when I was listening to that, oh, the parties and jamming and smoking weed, those times were good, brother. Those times were good. All right, Red Eye, thanks for the question, brother. Or Bryden Red B. All right, moving on. Next question is by Nakari 165, and he asks, is there any killer spots to ride in Bozeman, Montana? Well, guess what, buddy? Being from Montana and traveling all the time, I would go to Bozeman at least twice a year, maybe once a year. And I would say the college has a lot of shit that's stacked there. There's also an elementary that has these pyramids. And I remember going there with Tony and a few of the other locals, and they brought me there. And there was these pyramids. They were like 10 feet apart from one another, and I just remember showing up, and I was like, I got a gap from one pyramid to the next. I remember getting it in like 3 tries, and the locals were just like, what the hell are you doing? And I was like, I don't know. There's a pyramid here and a pyramid here. I gotta gap it. The college has this really famous handrail. It's like a 15-stair handrail. And I remember doing the rail when I was like 16. Holy shit. That was a long time ago. That was 23 years ago? No, 21 years ago? Either way, go to the college, man. It's stacked. And it's like California there, since everybody's moved there from California. So they're not as bitchy and complainy when you're out there riding. So definitely go there. Skate park's pretty fun, but Bozeman does have spots, brother. Good luck. Thanks for the question. Next question is by Jason Taylor. If you move anywhere in the future, what's on the go-to list? That's a good question, Jason. If I move anywhere, I just want to get the hell out of these seasons. If you live anywhere where it snows and then it rains and then it snows and rains and it's barely sunny, you can understand that it just sucks ass. And if you ride BMX, weather is the worst fucking thing. It is depressing. It's annoying. It hurts your body when you get older. If I move and I go anywhere, I'm probably just going to do the same places I've been before. I'd really love to live in Vegas again. Vegas is probably the best place, or Arizona, but number one would probably be Long Beach, California. I fucking love California. It's just been my go-to spot. I'll probably move to California if I get a chance. Thanks, Jason, for the question. Next one. Tess420 asks, what or who first inspired you to ride BMX? For me, it was the movie Rad. My inspiration for BMX is probably the local kids. There was a lot of talent where I came from. We had Scott Hopper. We had another kid that raced and rode freestyle. His name was Chris Bender. There was Hermie Bellegarde. There was all these dudes that, at the time, I didn't understand what they were doing. They're mainly just doing jumps and 360 tire taps. Scott Hopper used to ride vert. So he used to ride with Jay Miron and all these guys. So he had a vert ramp at his house. And just watching those guys cruise around town and seeing what they were capable of doing just made me want to be like them. And so what I did was I just individually, this is fucking psychotic, but individually I would watch those guys ride. I would see what tricks they were doing. And then I just told myself that I have to beat that person. I have to be better than them. I want to be just as good as them. And I want them to realize that. So I've always just had that mentality of like, I got to beat these guys. And not in a mean way, but let's just be honest, BMX can be competitive. And I just right off the get-go was super competitive. So those were the guys that I really enjoyed. Or those guys kind of inspired me. Then later on, it was Pat Murphy and Travis Feller and Dan Suela, and these are just older guys that had shit together. They introduced me to props. They taught me about standard bikes. They laid the foundation for me. And if it wasn't for those dudes, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I really appreciate Travis and Dwayne, my good buddy Dirty D, Pat Murphy, the Godfather, GF20. That was our old bike crew. All right. Next question. Matthew Miller. What happened to the Bike Vault? Well, the Bike Vault is a bike shop that I sell BMX parts to because I work at Merritt BMX. And I think they went out of business. And the killer mechanic that worked there too. I have no clue where the hell you went, Matt. I think you said you're moving here to the East Coast. So if you move to the East Coast, come hang out with me. Come say hi. You have my phone number. Hit me up, you fuck. All right, moving on. Next question. Kevin Jackson. When's the next Merritt Jam in New York City or Long Island? Kevin, I am in the works of figuring that out. Right now, I'm going to be going on the 24th to Virginia. And then in a couple weeks after that, I'm going to Montana. So I'm trying to get everything together that I can. So I will see what I can do, and I'll talk to some bike shops, but we will get something going. Hopefully soon. All right, brother. Thanks, Kevin. All right, Jacob Massacre. I never say your name right. Is it Massacre? Massacre? Let's just go with Jacob Rocket Manual. And obviously, Jacob says, "Do you ever think one day more people are going to do rocket tricks?" I hope people don't do rocket tricks, to be honest with you. I like that it's a unique trick. I like that people just think it's corny, but I also like the fact of how people get wowed by it. And Jacob, I know you love rockets, and I watch you do them all the time, brother, and it's rad. To me, I just think it's a trick that doesn't need to be played out. I just want people to forget about it, and when they see it, they get excited, and that's about it, because that trick is the greatest trick ever. All right, next question. Paul James, are you going to try WoW Classic? It just came out. Paul James just asked me if I'm going to play World of Warcraft Classic. World of Warcraft's been around for 15 years, and they just brought back the original. I'm probably will make a character. I don't think I'll even... I don't think I want to play it, to be honest with you. I didn't start until I didn't start until Mist of Pandaria. And I've put in so much effort and time into retail, I can't do it. I don't think I'm going to do it. I might try it, and that's about it. But I'm a gold farmer and a pet collector, and I've invested too much time. I don't want to switch. I don't have any interests. I don't raid. I don't do any of that other shit. So I don't think I'm going to do it. Thanks for the question, though, Paul James. And I am on Emerald Dream, and my character's name is Bad Credit. Look me up. Let's play. All right, next person, Pete Waller. What was your first trick you did that made you think, fuck yeah, that was awesome? I'm struggling with manuals. Any tips? Cheers, Ricky. Well, Pete, the first trick that I thought was fucking awesome... I used to do no-hander one-footers, fakey airs, like at 8-foot quarters. I'd probably get like 2, 3, 4 feet out, and I would just do the biggest no-hander one-footers. And I could just do no-handers and no-hander one-footers like nothing over everything. And then one day ate shit, and just like anybody else, I stopped doing that trick. Manuals. Manuals is easy if you do it every day. So my tip for you is go out, go into the streets, every line in the street, just keep pulling back until just keep pulling back. And if you're about to fall, pump. So push your legs like this. So if you're about to fall, push your legs, and it'll just keep you like this. If you fall backwards, that's good. Who cares? You just got to find your balance point every single day. Just go out manual and try to count those lines, brother. That's how we all started. Next question. Olson Life. Favorite memory at Rail Yard. Rail Yard is the Great Falls Skate Park that I'm from. My favorite memory... Fuck, I don't want to be negative, because the majority of my favorite memories are always negative shit. When somebody gets beat up, or when I got tackled by the cops. Oh, what memory is good? I would say a really good memory for me would be Scotty HD, my friend from here from New York, came down and he filmed a Vital BMX edit at the skate park with me and my buddy Jesse Garcia. And the edit didn't come out, and I have it, actually. So I think maybe I'll make a video and we'll watch it. Actually, that's what I'm going to do. We'll make a video and we'll watch it. And it didn't come out because the owners of Vital said that me and Jesse were no-namers and no one knew us. So they weren't going to put it out. I ain't even going to sugarcoat that shit anymore. That's the exact words they said. All right, Olsen Life, that was it. Next one, Kiss BMX. What's your favorite trick you can do? I can still do. My favorite trick of all time is a tabletop. It's simple, it's clean, it's easy, it's easy to do, but it's not that good. Like, I mean, like, you can get into it, but getting a really good one is the hard part. So I think everybody can almost do a tabletop or do a tabletop, but they ain't really doing a tabletop. And I just like old school tabletops. I don't like inverts where it's fully folded. I just like the bike is tilted with a good tilt, and then you turn the bars so the tire is pointing straight up. But the best looking tables to me is people that stare at the tire when they do it. I don't like the look away. The look away from the tire looks stupid to me. You got to look at your tire when you're doing a tabletop. I love tabletops, man. And Kiss, keep kicking ass on your bike, dude. I've been watching you and following you, man. I enjoy it. Next question. Next and final question. Love this content. It's by 4130 Machinist. Love this content. Way better than the other vlogs out there. Hey, thanks, man. What's your favorite place you've ever gotten to ride? What places would you like to ride you haven't ridden yet? My favorite place to ever ride? Fuck, that's tough. And it's always nostalgic, and it always goes back to, like, memories. But I would say, like, one of the greatest times I had riding was when I went to Metro Jam in Vancouver, Canada. And just the whole idea of meeting all my heroes and seeing all them. So that really stands out in my mind. But when I rode there, it was Vancouver, Canada. So it was wet and rainy and shitty. I'm going to say going to California for my first time. I really love that. And just the fact that you can go anywhere and there's spots all the time. It's sunny, it's 70 degrees weather. I would say that. And places I haven't ridden yet, I don't know. Maybe I'd like to go to Texas, try Texas out. I just went to Colorado. Colorado's got spots. That's a tough one. Everyone chooses Barcelona, but to be honest with you, I don't want to travel. I'm too lazy. I don't want to leave the United States. I think Texas. I'd like to go to Texas and check Texas out. Everybody always talks about it. Well, 4130 Machinist, I really appreciate that. And guys, this video got way longer. I have a habit of just talking. I guess you guys are going to have to tell me to, hey, maybe work on not talking so much. But I'll work on it. I'll get better than this. I appreciate everybody that's been watching these. Thanks for the support. Thanks for, asking me questions. And thanks for just being a part of my, is it a channel or part of my page or podcast or whatever the hell we're calling these. Thanks to everybody that's out there. If you guys get a chance, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Have a good day. Hi. Take it easy, guys. Peace.